Best side quest to do in each city. Quests and their featured characters are integral to any good RPG and can certainly make or break the experience. Luckily, Bethesda games have always had a good track record of providing many unique adventures in their famed Elder Scrolls series. Naturally, The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion back in 2006 was no different, perhaps offering some of the best the series has to offer in terms of its side activities. And with its all-new remastered version a success in bringing the classic RPG into the modern day, there's no better time to explore each of its beautifully remastered cities and their best side quests. Please excuse any mispronunciations by TTS, the English TTS has trouble with non-English words. But, if you watch Zentria, you should be fine. Warning, warning. This article may contain spoilers. This disclaimer is added by default, so this article may or may not contain spoilers. Anvil, where spirits have lease. Ghosts of the Gold Coast. Starting the quest, speak with Velwyn Beniris at the Count's Arms in Anvil, and purchase Beniris Manor for 5,000 gold. In the small port city of Anvil, players can engage in a bit of house shopping and ghost busting with the side quest, where spirits have lease. When speaking to Velwyn Beniris at the local inn, he seems desperate in wanting to sell his late grandfather's property, Beniris Manor, for 5,000 gold. While that's no small sum of septims, it's a surprisingly low price considering the manor's luxurious design. But it will quickly become apparent why the price of such a mansion may have been a bit below market value for the Gold Coast. When staying the night, players will be confronted by a group of ghostly beings, and not the friendly kind either. No wonder Velwyn seemed anxious to sell. It seems as though the long vacant manor has had a curse put on it. Now, the quest begins to hopefully break the manor's curse and rid it of any paranormal activity. Breville, the Forlorn Watchman, the ethereal sailor of Niban Bay. Starting the quest, speak with Gilgondorin at Silvrome on the water in Breville. For those interested in more ghost hunting, there is a rumor going around Breville about the ghost of a local sailor that players may want to investigate. Visit the city's local inn and speak to its owner, a high elf named Gilgondorin, who can provide some useful information on the subject. Upon questioning Gilgondorin about the city's rumor, he explains that the ghostly figure usually appears at Bonwatch Camp after sunset. Upon investigation, it turns out the innkeeper was telling the truth. What follows is more poking around at the local Panther River for the sailor's shipwreck, to hopefully solve the mystery and rid Niban Bay of its paranormal activity. Bruma, a brotherhood betrayed. Hunting the Hunter. Starting the quest, speak with Carius Runelius at Bradon Lyrian's house in Bruma. Bruma to the north and its surrounding areas play a significant role in the game's main quest, but also have no shortage of fun side activities, such as a brotherhood betrayed. And instead of hunting ghosts, players will be hunting vampires this time around. Well, sort of. Listen in on the residents of Bruma to hear of a rumor that a self-proclaimed vampire hunter named Raynaldralas recently took it upon himself to dole out some vigilante justice against Bradon Lyrian, an alleged vampire who lived in the city. An investigation ensues to hopefully uncover the truth behind the supposed vampire and Raynal's hasty, and somewhat illegal actions. Cheydinhal, a brush with death. A journey to the painted world. Starting the quest, speak with Tivella at Rith Lithandas's house in Cheydinhal. Cheydinhal is known for being a rather prosperous city, having large houses with nicely kept trees and garden spaces. But even with its higher class residents and large, affluent weekly parties, like most of Cyrodiil's major cities, it still has its mysteries to be solved, like a local's recent brush with death. Engage in some friendly eavesdropping, and players will hear about Rith Lithandas, the city's famous painter who has mysteriously gone missing. When speaking with the painter's wife, she mentions that the artist often locked himself in his study for long periods of time. Upon investigation, it turns out the poor painter was sucked into one of his works of art and needs help in order to retrieve his magic paintbrush and escape the painted world. Thanks for watching. Please sub and like to support future content. Linktree in description to support social. Like, subscribe, and comment any games you want to know more about. Help me build this channel, so I can afford an editor, and start making gameplay, and tutorial videos. Coral, separated at birth, reunited at last. Starting the quest, speak with Renal Gemini at the Grey Mare in Coral. Coral is another important area in Oblivion's main quest, with Wayne Priory being located just outside its walls. And of course, much like the game's other cities, there are always plenty of rumors going around that can be investigated. The talk of the town this time is that Renal Gemini has been seen acting strangely in Cheydinhall from time to time. The problem is, Gemini spends most of his time drinking up the supply of mead at the local inn, and rarely leaves Coral. Is it Renald? An imposter of some sort? There is only one way to know for sure, aside from the quest title. Taking a trip over to Cheydinhall will reveal the truth behind Renald's abnormal behavior and sightings. Imperial City, an unexpected voyage. Pirates of Topal Bay. Starting the quest, rent a room and stay the night at the Bloated Float, located in the Imperial City waterfront district. Being the game's largest city, as well as the capital of the province, the Imperial City has a plethora of great quests and side activities to engage in. The most entertaining of which can be found within the city's bustling port area. On the docks of the capital's waterfront district is the Bloated Float, a cozy inn located on a docked ship. Upon staying the night aboard, players will wake up to find the floating hotel has set sail for the vast open sea. Unfortunately, it's not exactly an all-inclusive cruise. As it turns out, the Bloated Float has been hijacked by a group known as the Blackwater Brigands, seeking to steal some treasure aboard the ship. Now, fans will have to figure out a way to dispatch the band of pirates and bring the floating inn back to safety. Lillywheen, Mazaga the Orc. Stolen Valor, Elder Scrolls Edition. Starting the quest, speak with Count Marius Caro at Castle Lillywheen. Lillywheen is often one of the less popular of Oblivion's many cities, being located a bit further away from the center of the province, in the far south region of Blackwood. Nonetheless, the swampy city along the Neben River has its unique environment and interesting quests to go along with it. Rumors have been circulating about one Mazaga the Orc, who can usually be found pacing around the city's castle, claiming to be a sort of noble knight in her past. Making such a bold claim without much proof to back it up has raised the eyebrows of many locals, prompting further investigation into Mazaga and her questionable past to uncover the truth behind her supposedly valiant knightly service. Skingrad, Paranoia. Conspiracy theories of Skingrad. Starting the quest, after being spoken to by Glurthur, meet him behind the great chapel of Julianos at midnight in Skingrad. The rather upper-class city of Skingrad is known across the province of Cyrodiil for its fine wines, thanks to its vast vineyards located around the city. Its inhabitants are usually well off, and can be rather welcoming to travelers. Sometimes, at least. Take a walk around the city's districts, and players may run into a wood elf named Glurthur, who will ask them to meet him behind the great chapel of Julianos at midnight, with little information given as to why. If fans choose to meet the troubled man, he'll explain that he believes his neighbor is spying on him, asking players to investigate the matter. As the quest name suggests, Glurthur appears to be a bit paranoid, possibly even a bit of a conspiracy theorist himself, but taking a look into his supposed stalker may be the only way to find out once and for all. The Elder Scrolls IV, Oblivion Remastered. Released, April 22, 2025. Developed by Infinity Ward, and Raven Software. Available on PC, Xbox One, Android, iOS, PS4, Switch. Released on March 10, 2020. ESRB rating, M for mature.